Welcome to the Entrepreneur Podcast, where we take a look inside the lives of the accomplished and successful businessmen and women. We'll get up close and personal with the founders of booming startups. So lean in and prepare to carry away something to skyrocket your own business. Please subscribe to our show and do leave us a review. It means a lot to us. Now, here's your host, Rajiv.
Hey listeners, welcome to the Entrepreneur Talk Show. I'm your host Rajiv Unnikrishnan, and this is the show where we talk about entrepreneurship and speak to great founders, entrepreneurs, bloggers, and investors. Today we have with us Prerna Mehra, founder of fashion and lifestyle platform prernamehra.com, Instagrammer at the girl in sky high heels, and of course her own private label Prerna Mehra. Welcome, Prerna.
Hi, thanks a ton for having me.
All right. This is the fifth show in our six-part series of the Blogger Edit, a partnership between the Entrepreneur Podcast and the Digital Rosé, showcasing the journey of blogging. Prerna is a fashion student, designer, entrepreneur, model, and blogger based in Mumbai. She has been blogging about fashion lifestyle on Instagram and on the web for over a year and a half now. Again, welcome to the show, Prerna. Do tell us a bit about yourself and what's going on in your world today.
Okay, so I'm a 19-year-old fashion student, and I've always been into fashion. It's something that has always interested me, and I love writing as well. So I think that's why blogging, because it creates that balance for writing and
Correct.
fashion for me. And as far as my label is concerned, that's what I started first.
Okay.
I have an interest for designing, and I always have, I need something to do all the time. So that's why when I was 16 is when I started my label.
All right.
That was the entrepreneur aspect. But I realized that I want more out of it. So that's why the blog as well.
All right. Great. So, tell us a bit about your blog and what inspired you to start it.
Okay, so I really I'm very, I don't know how to put this, but I think I'm a lot into expressing myself very openly. I'm a vocal person, and I'm not an introvert at all. I'm very much of an extrovert. So I like putting out all my views and opinions out there. And as far as blogging is concerned, the best part is I do get a lot of feedback from people regarding it, which makes it a lot better because I know people are reading my work, are getting inspired by it. And I think that's what life's about, inspiring people.
All right. So, how long have you been blogging now in total, and what do you blog about primarily?
More or less about a year and a half.
Okay.
I basically blog about fashion, but I do like talking about human psychology and human minds. So I try and insert that in the middle, through daily posts and stuff like that.
Got it. What do you like about blogging? At the same time, what do you dislike about blogging?
So what I like about blogging is that you create this whole base of people who read your work, and they become like your social media family, where they actually start relating to what you're doing. They ask you about things, and at the same time they do value your opinion a lot. And what I hate about blogging, rather dislike, is that at times a lot of bloggers, and I make it a point not to do this, but a lot of bloggers, how you get collaborations from brands and you recommend things you don't like.
Correct.
I try and not do that because I feel like that whole relationship between people who are reading your work and you is very it's very special. So if they're putting your opinion on that higher pedestal, that they're actually going according to what you're saying,
Correct.
You can't be recommending something that you don't think is nice because you're lying to them.
Yep, correct.
And that's not correct.
Okay. So, in terms of your blog, what do you think you and your blog is an expert in, or domain you're an expert in?
I feel like the reason people would read my blog is because I keep it very honest. So at the same time, I'm just writing about what I actually am going through or what I'm actually feeling. And I try and connect the most on a daily basis with people, where I'm talking about my day and I'm asking them about theirs. So that just adds to the fashion aspect.
Okay. So, what are the topics that interest you, and what inspires you to create new posts?
Daily life, definitely. And I really like putting what I'm wearing out there because I like experimenting with my clothing. I don't think I have a definite style.
Correct.
I'm not like a street style blogger or a high fashion blogger. I try and keep everything mixed up. I like versatility in fashion. So
Okay.
Yeah.
How regularly do you post?
Instagram every day, like about 5-6 times a day.
Okay.
On my blog, I used to blog about once a week, and now it's moved on to about twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you retain your unique voice as a blogger? I mean, how are you carving your own niche? There's so many fashion blogs nowadays.
Right. I'm trying to keep it as unfiltered and honest as possible. I'm trying to make sure that I'm actually writing what I'm saying and not, trying to be politically correct
Correct.
or updating my drafts. I'm just writing it, probably doing a spell check and putting it out there.
Okay. What's the best thing about being a fashion blogger?
There are a lot of perks. We get a lot of things in terms of, people actually value what our opinion on outfits and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I feel like brands have finally realized that it's more of fashion bloggers and people who are experts on fashion influencers who are the ones who can take the brand from a particular part to to the audience, whereas it's not the celebrities because they are experts at what they do and not at fashion.
Correct. Correct. Is fashion a part of your everyday life?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's what makes up my most of my day.
Okay. And what is your personal style statement?
My personal style statement is probably a very slight tinge of classics, but more or less experimental. I don't like repeating the kind of style I follow. So I believe in versatility.
Okay. So do you, I mean, being a blogger, I mean, most of the bloggers are like, do everything for their blogs. I mean, you take, what aspects of the blog do you take care of? Do you do everything on your own or you outsource stuff?
No, no, everything's done by me, except obviously my pictures are clicked by somebody.
Okay.
But no, I handle PR, marketing, everything myself.
All right. So what are some of the apps you use to edit your photos? I mean, is it done by someone else or?
I love VSEO.
Okay.
No, it's done by me. I
Okay.
love VSEO. I take raw pictures from my photographers, and what I do is I use probably the A6 filter on VSEO because I like maintaining a standard feed.
Correct.
And in case I do need to add little, I use Instagram for probably a contrast increase or whatever.
All right. Got it. So you're on Instagram as the girl in sky high heels. How do you come up with that name?
I'm the kind of person who wears heels all the time. I'm
Okay.
very comfortable in them. In fact, I'm uncomfortable in flats at times. So when I go out for movies with friends and stuff like that, I'm in heels. And my friends are always turning around and telling me, we're at the movie theater. Are you crazy? So I think that's what inspired the name because I really like heels and I can't wear tiny ones. Like I don't like it in heels. I like the really high 6-7 inch heels. That's why the name.
Got it. Got it.
And yeah, I am a little bit of an ambitious person, so that's why the sky high.
Okay. So is your Instagram account like a carbon of your website, or what do you post primarily on Instagram?
I focus the most on my Instagram
Okay.
because it's very easy to reach out to people there. My website, I am trying to transfer all my blog data onto my website. That's still in the process because I just moved on from Blogspot to WordPress. But yes, it's going to be pretty much the
Okay.
same thing with a little more of writing.
Okay. Any Instagrammers whom you really like?
There's this girl called Riya Gupte. She's one of my favorites.
Okay.
And Santushi, obviously.
Okay. So if there's one thing your fellow bloggers, Instagrammers just need to try in terms of maybe a new app or some advice, I mean, what do you think it's got to be?
I feel like people should stop adding those Instagram filters to their photos and they need to actually, probably reduce the quality. Like they reduce the quality with the filters. So you should probably keep it as raw as possible with just probably a little bit of VSEO.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about it.
All right. So coming to the brand marketing part of it, I mean, what's your favorite part about being an influencer?
My favorite part is probably the fact that, as an influencer, I need to think about what I'm putting out there, but at the same time, when I put something out there, it's valued. And that really makes me feel good about it.
Okay. And what's the best part about partnering with brands?
It's the fact that they're putting in so much, trust into you as an influencer because it's their brand image that they're trusting with you. So,
Correct.
yeah, that's the best part.
And a lot of brands approaching you now to try out their products and write about it.
Yes, it does increase in number as my following increases and as probably my quality of work increases. So
Okay.
yeah, I do get a lot of
Good.
brands
Or great,
approaching
great.
me.
So, in your opinion, what is the most essential trait a blogger should have?
Essential trait is they should stick to their personal opinion and personal style because that is what differentiates them from other bloggers.
Correct. And what would be your advice, let's say, on the importance of quality and original content?
I think original content is what will drive people to read your blog because otherwise they can read it from elsewhere. Like
Yep.
basically, if the same thing is done by a lot of people, then what's the USP of your blog? So it's definitely important for you to write, original content. And what is the other thing you asked me?
And the importance of quality of content.
Quality is definitely important. You need to keep upgrading the way you write and the quality of your what you're putting out there because the social media market is increasing by many times as we keep talking right now as well. Like it's increasing by number, it's increasing by number of people reading. Obviously, it's the age of social media. So yeah, the quality is very important because you need to be well versed with what you're putting out there so that people really want to read your work.
Correct, correct. How has the growth been? I mean, in the past year and a half, or has it been more than expected?
Yes, definitely. I think the first when I moved from the first 6 months was hardly anything, and then the 1 year, it keeps adding up. It keeps multiplying by a larger number.
Okay. And in terms of readership, is it mostly India or any city in India or metros or international?
It's more or less Mumbai and Delhi.
Okay.
But yes, there's a slight bit of international. Like it's because it's social media. You can
Yes.
reach out to anybody from anywhere.
Got it. And any challenges you face in keeping up or maintaining your fashion blog?
At times, because as a student, I do have a lot of work, and my course itself is a degree course that's very, it has a lot of work itself. But the good part is I really do enjoy blogging, so it's like my me time. So I'm actually not really putting in too much effort into keeping up to it.
Okay.
It's
Great.
something I do because it makes me happy.
Great. So moving on to like the entrepreneurship side of it, I mean, who has inspired you over time, and what's some of the best advice you have received?
Uh, I feel like when you're starting in a venture or you're being an entrepreneur, you really need to have that leadership quality. And as far as leadership is concerned, it's for probably your team or yourself.
Correct.
And when it comes to that, there are these great people in the world like Obama trying to show us how giving up is not an option and how you really need to look at what people want and what you can give them. So it's about what people who are reading my blog want to read and how I can give that to them. That's most important. And otherwise it's my dad who inspires me because he keeps telling me that there's nothing that I can look at and not get if I work towards it.
Okay, great. What's something that's getting you really excited at present? Any new launch or any plans for your blog?
Yeah, I'm super excited for Lakme Fashion Week. It's on from 1st to 5th, obviously, because it's like Fashion Week. It's maddening. You're meeting great people who are really into fashion, and you're seeing some of the best shows ever. That's really exciting me. And otherwise, I think I'm really looking forward to this year as such because the color of the year, the Pantone color of the year is green, and that's my favorite color.
Okay, great.
So I can't wait to blog so much about it.
Okay. And what's the plan for the future in terms of your blog? I mean, where do you see it going in the next year?
I feel like now that it has a proper website and obviously better put content, I feel like it's going to be the year of maximum improvement as of now, like as of what I've been doing overall. And I just think I need to put more content out there, and I think that's really going to be what I'm going to be doing this year.
All the best with that. So now we're moving to a part of the show which is a quick fire round. All right, simple, brief answers. So when people ask you, what do you do? How do you answer that?
I answer it saying, well, I write about fashion.
Right. What's the
That's how
first
simple it is.
what's the first word that comes to mind when I say work?
Writing.
Family,
Dad, mom.
entrepreneurship,
I remember the age 16 because that's when I realized that that's what I want to do.
great. Technology,
Instagram.
food,
Uh, I'm a foodie, so they're just images popping up in my head.
designer,
I think about myself because that's what I see myself as in the long run.
right? Tell us which application or service you're using for your travel needs.
Uh, Travel needs make my trip because I'm booking flights. I love traveling. That's another thing.
Okay. And scheduling all your meetings?
Notes on the iPhone, just
Yeah.
the Notes app that does my
Okay.
thing.
And what's your favorite fashion accessory you can't live without?
I can't live without a watch. I need a watch all the time.
Okay. And your piece of tech you can't live without?
Uh, I think my laptop because that's where I do most of my work.
Okay. And what do you excel at that people might not realize?
I feel like apart from being a fashion blogger, the writing aspect where I'm talking about human minds and I'm being really honest about what I feel
Yep.
and I'm giving perspective, that's what I excel at.
Great. And your favorite city globally?
Mumbai, definitely. I'm
Okay.
Mumbai girl.
Any last thought or piece of advice for our listeners who may be thinking of starting a blog?
I feel like you really need to realize that fashion is expressing yourself and what you're feeling and what you're thinking. So keep that in mind always and don't copy trends blindly.
Great. Please let our listeners know how they can reach you and also your different platforms.
I generally check out my direct message. So there's Instagram at the girl in sky high heels. There's also my email ID that's mentioned on my Instagram bio as well as on my website. You can reach me anyhow. I'll be replying.
Great. Again, Prerna, thanks for taking the time to talk to us and inspiring our listeners to start their fashion and lifestyle ventures, and all the very best at building your platform.
Thank you so much. It was really, really nice talking to you.
All right. So do visit prernamehra.com or the Girl in Sky High Heels on Instagram, and visit us at theasianentrepreneur.com to get the show notes, and also subscribe to our show on all the platforms and leave a review on your thoughts about this show. Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. In the meantime, head over to theasianentrepreneur.com and check out show notes and other information to motivate you in your entrepreneurial endeavors.